I wanted to bring you guys some really important news that you need to know. Now, with all the civil unrest going on in LA and across the United States, it's distracting from a big situation that neither side politically is telling you about that should take place on June 15th. But what has been changed now is going to affect every American. And it is a reason why that the US government is going cashless starting September 2025. And a lot of this is creating a distraction because if people know what is coming down the pipe, they would be very upset. And I'm going to break this down for you in this video. Now, if you're new to this channel is designed to help you no matter where you are in your credit journey and how to leverage your credit to make money. So if you like this kind of information, make sure you subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. And if you go to my website, I give you this free heart inquiry removal package that you can download for free. The link is in the description of the video and in the pinned comment section.
Back in March of 2025, there was an executive order passed modernizing payments to and from America's bank account. Now, Section 1 purpose the continued use of paper-based payments by the federal government, including checks and money orders flowing into and out of the United States General Fund, which might be thought of as America's bank account, imposing unnecessary cost, delay, and risk of fraud, lost payment, theft, and inefficiencies. Mail theft complaints have increased subsequently since the COVID-19 pandemic. Historically, Department of the Treasury checks are 16 times more likely to be reported, lost, or stolen, returned undeliverable, or altered than any electronic funds transfer, EFT. Maintaining the physical infrastructure and specialized technology for digitizing payment records cost America taxpayers over $657 million in fiscal year 2024 alone. Phase out of paper checks, disbursements, and receipts. Effective September 30th, 2025, and to the extent permitted by law, the Secretary of Treasury shall cease issuing paper checks for all federal disbursement exclusive of intergovernmental payments, benefit payments, vendor payments, and tax refund, except as specified in Section 4 of this order. All executive departments and agencies shall comply with this directive by transitioning to EFT methods, including direct deposit, prepayment card accounts, and other digital payment options, and take all steps necessary to enroll recipients in EFT payments, except as specified in Section 4 of this order. Secretary of Treasury shall support agencies transitioning to digital payment methods, including by access through the Department of Treasury centralized payment systems, direct deposit, debit and credit payments, digital wallets, and real-time payment systems, and other modern electronic payment options.
Now, many people will say this is a good move. Of course, it's keeping down fraud, but what they don't know about a change that should have took place coming up June 15th and why this is very important and how this rule is really going to hurt your credit scores. Let's look at this article.
CFPB industry groups asks federal judge to kill Bureau medical debt rule. The CFPB says it wants to scrap a Biden administration rule that prohibits credit reporting agency from including medical debts on credit reports, one of many Biden-era rules that the Trump administration sought to nullify. The rule had been scheduled to take effect in March, but U.S. District Judge Sean Jordan of the East District of Texas has issued a 90-day stay that delay the rule effective date until June 15th. Now, the bureaus and other industry groups that filed suit changing the rule says the rule exceeds the bureau's authority. The two sides now agree that the creditors may report medical debt information to consumer credit report agencies. Consumer reporting agencies may include that information in credit reports as long as it's properly coded, and the consumer reporting agencies may furnish credit report such properly coded information to creditors permissible under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA. The groups asked the court to find that the medical debt rule is contrary to federal law. The CFPB now says it agrees with that contention.
Now, this is a huge problem. Number one, when it comes down to medical debt collectors, even just consumer debt collectors, many of these companies do not have legal right to collect on the debt. So many of them will say they bought the debt was sold, but there has been companies that actually taken people information claiming that they owed them a debt that they did not owe. Portfolio Recovery Services had been busted for this last year. And you had some of these collection companies taking people to court for time barred debts and debts they did not owe and getting judgments against them. So understand, many people have even moved and they will send these notices of summons to their homes and get a default judgment. And many people didn't even know there was a lawsuit in process and they didn't even owe the actual debt. The debt was paid. So with these companies, you need to send them a debt validation letter to make them prove, number one, they have a legal right to collect on a debt and to show that the debt is even owed. And furthermore, they need to show proof that they purchased the debt. So you want to make sure you do not talk on the phones with these companies, because the reason why they record your phone conversation, they understand they're borderline illegal. So they want to make you actually bind a verbal agreement. That's why they must vet you. Never vet your information to those companies. Now, if you need one of those debt validation letters, you can get it in the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment section, and make sure that you make them verify that debt, because if they cannot verify that debt within that 30 days when they send you that letter, they cannot put it on your credit report. Even if they already put it on your credit report, they still have to show proof that they have a legal right to collect on the debt. And if you pay that, now they can report that for the next 7 years, starting from when you paid it. Or if you agree over the phone to pay them, now they can take you to court and they legally have you creating a verbal contract with them. So you want to be very careful with that. And this is why now this is a setup. Now, moving forward, going into a cashless society, now everybody can now stop your money and you have no way to work outside of the system. This is why me, myself, I collect silver and gold. I use government currencies like the American Eagle, also Canadian maple leaves, things from the Perth Mint that is legal silver and gold minted by governments. I use Quicksilver. If you guys are interested in them, they actually send you your silver and gold that you designate every month by taking it out of your bank account and sending it to you. You can even pay with a credit card. If you're interested in their wealth building program, for whatever amount that you set, they'll send that silver and gold to you. I'll leave that link in the description. But this is the way now. They want to make sure that they box you in and you don't have freedom, that you're going to continually be a debt slave. Now with this move, that all your payments becoming electronic, so those who are getting some kind of federal benefits that could bypass if they have a judgment or a lien from a collection company, now with that having to go into their bank account, these companies now can collect from them. Even with your tax returns, you might just get the paper check in the mail and then can go directly to the bank that issued the check and get the cash, and then bypass these collection companies if they have a judgment. But now they're making sure that they're able to access from you payments, just like with the student loans, but these are federal collections and these are private party collectors doing this for the federal government. And neither side is speaking on this situation because they're both funded by billionaires. All those butts in those seats, you are not their constituents. The billionaires that makes them career politicians by paying all this money for them getting into those offices is who they serve. Because with Trump having this rolled back, this is going to hurt the majority of Americans. And even with Joe Biden, he could have had this solidified earlier. So it could have been harder to overturn and also push it through the Congress and through the Senate to get a law passed. So neither side is speaking on this because it's beneficial for corporations. And when you look at the credit bureaus, they sell your information. The worse your credit is, the more they can sell your credit reports for, because banks make their money off of interest. And they love when you have bad credit because they can charge you a higher interest rate and give you smaller credit lines and justify it by this negative information on your credit report. So with this coming back, not only are you going to see people credit scores drop, you're going to also see active collections on people that may not can even afford to pay this because they're financially struggling. And when it comes to any collection, medical or consumer, make sure that you contact the company to see if that debt is even outstanding. I had this to happen to me with a toll debt. I got a debt collection company writing me and calling me, and I knew that debt was paid. When I called the toll company, they told me I had no outstanding balances. So I immediately sent them a debt validation letter, certified mail. Make sure you guys track that. And they replied with a letter saying that I did not owe them a debt. They made a mistake. So if I would have paid that, they would have hit my credit report with a negative item that can report for the next 7 years. And this is part of their strategy. The bureaus love it. The banks love it. And they want to keep your credit scores down so they can charge you more. And this is actually keeping people from getting jobs, getting housing, and even just being able to have a home and a productive life. So all of these things are set up for control. So make sure that you're protecting your credit. So hopefully this information was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section. But if you got more detailed questions for me, you can go to my website and all your questions go directly to my cell phone. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.